Hey, how's it going, everybody? So I wanted to peel back the curtain a little bit, give you some insight into what my running has been looking like, and kind of where I've been with my sports, racing, injuries, things like that. So in general, I haven't been running as much as I would have, let's just say, like 5 to 10 years ago. So the last like 4 years, things have really scaled back. A lot of that's just like kids and work and all the typical stuff that you all deal with as well. So it's just trying to figure out how to make time for it, manage it well, still make it fulfilling, and get what I want out of it. Now that I'm like kind of away from the performance standpoint. So historically, I was just like that typical individual who wanted to do it because I did well at it. I got success, like I could win, I could run faster. Like there's all those positive feedback, but they're negative in a sense too, where it's not like the real reason that you want to run. It's like this fallacy of like, oh, you're going to keep running because you're winning races or you're running faster and things like that, and instead of getting like the true meaning and the true purpose behind that why behind it. So things the past 4 years have really scaled back. There's been a large stretch where like I wasn't running consistently, would take weeks off at a time, sprinkle things in here or there. And if you know me at all, like that's definitely a contributor to like some aches and pains, things that I'd had, right? We talk about consistency is the number one indicator. We've got to be able to maintain that consistency and that frequency over any type of density or intensity in our training. And we can talk about that acute to chronic workload ratio. And if you've worked with me at all, then you know like some of the things that I would say there. So I haven't been a good example of that personally, and a lot of that's just been like searching for that why and that purpose and making the time for it. The fun thing has been this summer that I've actually been able to do that. So I've been like consistently getting in close to 30 miles a week for me this summer. Anywhere from like 4 to 6 runs a week. Last week I was able to get 6 in easily, and like felt really good. I'm really enjoying my running right now. I don't have like any huge goals. I think in the past I've been an athlete who's been really goal driven, so I've felt like, okay, the only way I'm going to get back to doing this is if I set this huge goal. So I would set a huge goal and it was unrealistic. It didn't make any sense to go out and do this 50-mile race or do this marathon off of no training. So what I've done now is let's step out the door every day. I've shrunk my goals into like one day at a time of, hey, if I get home from work or if there's like a stressful day or things are tough at home, whatever, like get out the door. Like if I can get out the door, put in it whatever time is manageable that day, that's a win. And I've been able to stack these wins up over the last like 6 weeks or so. It's been really good. I've been really enjoying my running again. So hopefully that's something you can take into your running. Is I know we all have these big goals, these races we want to do, but sometimes we need to scale back and give ourselves some smaller wins, some smaller successes to kind of snowball into those larger things. So I did run a race on the 4th of July. I ran a road mile on the Whippet City Mile in Whitewater. It's an awesome event. You start the mile race on the roads down Main Street before the parade for the 4th of July. So it's cool that the runners kind of start and the parade follows. And that went well. It was super fun to be able to go out there and like hurt again and be in a race environment, feed off the crowd. I ran like surprisingly well. I ran 4:37, so like not setting anything on fire, not crazy fast. Obviously like slower than I used to be able to run. But for my first like race in, I don't know, maybe 18 months, 2 years or something like that, maybe even longer, I'm not sure. Felt really good. It was fun. So it was nice to be able to just kind of get in that groove again, and it definitely got the itch back for me to be able to race. So I'm going to be doing the Full Moon 5K. I have no idea expectation-wise what's going to happen. It's just going to be a fun event to be able to go out and share with the community. Definitely some friends that are going to be out there running, so see if I can kind of hang with them for a little bit. From a training standpoint, so volume hasn't been crazy high, 30 miles a week for me, which is okay. It's been feeling great. I've been enjoying it. I've had a little bit of a hip like kind of niggle thing that's been kind of creeping up, small issue. I'll share a video after this, kind of recapping some of the like 3 things that I've been doing to manage that, just to give you some insight into what my own like rehab has been like for that. But otherwise, just been getting easy miles in, trying to get 1 long run a week. I've been doing kind of like 2 workouts, one more like sprint workout, like super short, just trying to get the legs turned over again because I've been running so slow for so long that getting that snappiness and that power back in my stride has been important. And then just 1 like aerobic session a week. For me, I do really well off of like aerobic intervals instead of like long tempos. So I've been doing more like mile repeats at tempo, at threshold pace with like a minute recovery, or like a 2 mile, or like just like shorter intervals, and sometimes breaking it up into like even 400s with like super short recovery. And that for me works really well. Obviously it's hard to know the individual. That's where like having a conversation you and your coach are experimenting with some of that stuff for you can be really, really beneficial. But yeah, that's kind of like an update on me. I'll do another one of these maybe next month to kind of keep you posted on how things have been going. Just want to like pull the curtain back, share, let you know I'm just like you. We struggle and deal with things as well, and maybe you can take any insights from this to apply to your own training. And then I'll share a video below for the hip exercises that I've been doing.